Hello my dears, it's Aishling. You're very, very welcome. Aishling Mooney, Angel Intuitive, Spiritual Business Mentor in my tiny little office. We just moved house. So I've this teeny tiny space. You can literally, there's the door, there's a bookshelf, there's me, and there's a window. So it's teeny tiny, but I'm thrilled to have the space where my family are home Easter holidays, so I can close the door and come in and be with you. So I've been running around like a headless chicken, which is normal for me. But I'm here. I got here for our Ask Your Angels coaching and cards. You're all very, very welcome. So hello to everybody that's joining me. So I have my computer here because sometimes Facebook does a little bit of a jumpy thing and I can't see the messages that's come through. So first of all, thank you for all of the love in the last few days, seeing the angel cards going around the world is just a thrill, absolute a thrill to see people posting pictures of their first spreads and their first card that they pick and the archangels that are working with them. It's just absolutely, it took 2 years to create this deck between myself and a collaboration with an artist, Chinkal Parikh. So it was just so much love was poured into this, and just to see them all around the world is just an incredible gift. So I hope that they bring everybody that ordered them so much love, so much support, so many angels into your lives. And for anyone, the last print run is over now, but we aim to have a new one in the autumn or sooner if I get enough interest. So if you want to order, pre-order or get on the wait list for a deck of cards, you can go to ashlingmooney.com/cards, CARDS, and you just put your name on the wait list, and when the next print run comes along, we'll email you, we'll say we're considering a new print run, do you want to order? So you don't have to pay anything, but you just do have to express an interest. And when I have about 500 people on that list, I will send out and ask for orders for the cards, and then I would print with a minimum of 100 cards. So just to let you know, just get your name on the wait list if you want to be in for the next print run. But for now, it's a limited edition, and there's no guarantee that we'll print them again. For anyone that's interested in learning about angel cards or oracle cards or tarot cards or how to use them, they've been one of my personal development tools I was sitting down, I had to think about it for a blog post that I wrote the other day, and I've been using them for 30 years, over 30 years. I got my first deck when I was 20. I went into a shop in Hastings when I was living there and bought my first deck. So I've been working with angel cards, and I've taught a class. Some of you may have been at that class. Maybe 10 years ago I taught a class on how to read angel oracle cards, and then went into other things. I'm a teacher, I'm a spiritual business coach and mentor, and I also teach people how to connect with 16 main archangels in our program, Angels and Biz Alignment program. And I'll stick a link in there if anyone is interested in learning more about that. But what I really want to talk to you before we jump into answering your questions and picking an angel card for you, for anyone that is interested in learning how to read oracle cards, I'm going to post the link right now into this live stream, if I can find it on the page. The link is, I wrote it down, ashlingmooney.mykajabi.com/event. So if you go to that main event, where is this? Okay, am I live? I am live, haven't I? Because I can't see myself on Facebook. It's not letting me see myself. But anyway, if somebody could put that link in, that would be amazing. But it's ashlingmooney.mykajabi.com/event for any of you who would like to join me for a live virtual once-off event. I doubt I will ever teach this again live. It's something that I'm just doing with this release of these cards, but it's not something that's calling me to do it again. It will be once off. I'll pour my 30 years of experience in there. At the moment, there's an early bird. Instead of 97, you get in a ticket at 47. So if you go to that link, book your ticket, and you can come to the event. And if you bought the angel cards, you get a free ticket. So just email my team if you don't have details for that yet. Okay, we are going to get started. I just want to see if I can find me on our Facebook group. I don't know why that's not coming up. It's very unusual. I'll have a sup of tea. So you can start to put your questions in there now. So if you have a question for me and you would like an angel card, I'm going to give priority to people that are on live with me. Oh, here we go. There we are. So I'm going to pop that link in there now. So for anyone that wants to come and doesn't have a ticket yet, you can go here and you can book a ticket. The early bird is finished tomorrow, Friday at 8 p.m. So if you want to go, that's it. And you can join me live. There's a replay. It's going to be a pretty amazing event. I haven't taught a live event in probably over 2 years publicly. So it's going to be pretty big. Okay, my darlings. So I have just lit a candle for us. So let's just take a little breath for a moment. Let's just take a little breath wherever you are, my sweet darling watching this, wherever you are in the world. Just take a breath and bring yourself into this space and into this room. So just breathe and bring yourself into this space and take another breath. And just let that go, a deep sigh and release and relaxation. And then one more breath. Take one more breath in, my darling, and just bring yourself fully into this space. So take another breath. And that's it. Just bring yourself here. That was as much for me as it was for you. I have some music playing there in the background. Can everybody else hear that? It's settling my energy, but if it's annoying, I will turn it off. So just let me know. If someone could post a comment there and just let me know if you can hear the energy, the music that I have in the background. It's very low, so you might not be able to hear it. But I'm just calling in our angels, your guardian angels, my guardian angel, our archangels to be with us today. Archangel Michael to protect the space, help me to give the best possible answers and messages that I can. Of course, I will channel some messages from your angels asking for that clarity. Thank you, Uriel. But I'll also give you my practical coaching, advice and information. So, you know what I mean? Sometimes I swear, often I swear. So, no, I can get off this call now. So I have some questions to answer for people on the calls, and I also have some questions to answer that people posted. But if I don't get to everybody, which is probably unlikely, I will choose angel cards for everybody throughout the rest of this week before our event. So that is it. Just bringing, I can feel it now, the angel light coming into my heart, coming into my space, settling our energy. Can you feel that? Can you feel that just settling your energy? You know, sometimes all it takes is a breath, and for us to just step out of the day-to-day for just a few minutes to just settle your energy and bring you back, helping you to increase your intuition, deepen your intuition, and just make that connection with your angels and with your higher self. So just breathing and relaxing, you're in the right place. Well done for just taking this few minutes for yourself. Whether you're watching live or watching the replay, time is irrelevant to the angels. They're here with you right now. So sending loads of love. So I have lots of questions coming in. So just to say that I might not answer your question, but I guarantee that your question will be answered. So the question that you need answered will be answered. So often what happens is I come on these calls and I might be able to answer, let's say 10 questions. And you might come on and you have your question, but then something will be said, something will be channeled through me, or something that somebody else will post. A lot of us have a wealth of experience here in this group, so somebody else might post something but that it will help you and it will give you the answer or the message that you need right now in your life. And often, if we just go quiet enough, take those breaths, connecting with our angels, and ask for the answer to our message ourselves, we can get that. If anyone is considering and would like to go deeper with this work in general, I recommend the event, but I also recommend the alignment program. That's ashlingmooney.com/ABE. And I connect in with our tribe of angel lights there every single week. And we just do this sort of connection, ask your angels. We have coaching on Zoom as well as live streams. And it's just, if this is calling you, this is settling your energy, as it does me. I host these calls as much for myself as I do for the members of our community. So my darlings, I think I'm ready to start. So I'm going to pick a card from my beautiful deck that I'm very proud of. I'm going to pick an angel card just for everybody listening here today. That will just set the sort of tone and will give us some information and guidance. So wherever you are. So this card, I actually picked this morning. It came out this morning when I asked for guidance for myself. And I know it's relevant absolutely for me right now, but it's also relevant for you, especially if you've been spending too much time indoors, if you've been too much time at the computer, if you've maybe went through a really fit period and were really looking after yourself, and that has waned a little bit in the last few days or few weeks. Your angels are just saying it's so important for your mental and emotional and physical health to get outside into nature, to get outside. This card is the beautiful Archangel Ariel, the nature angel. For all those earth warriors out there that are doing their best to protect the planet. Archangel Ariel, practice grounding, spend time in nature. So it's a card of connection. Nature is our temple. We don't have to go and sit with the Dalai Lama. We don't have to find a meditation group, although that is also one of the most, amazing places to connect, to join a local group, whether that's online or in person. But maybe that's once a week, or maybe that's you have to physically go on your computer and you connect in and it's at a time. Nature is there all the time. So you can have nature in your home, but the best way to connect with yourself, with your higher guidance, with your angels, is to get out into nature. Go for a walk. Even better, if you can find a nice place to just take off your shoes and stand in the ground, stand and put your feet on the ground and just connect in with our Mother Earth, that being that we are living on. It's our home. It provides the air that we breathe, the ground that we stand on, the food that we have in our fridges and in our homes. Everything comes from the earth. So it's about, just taking a moment to just get out into nature, fall in love with some flowers or trees, remind yourself what your favorite tree is, and just get out and connect. Go to your local park. And if you are lucky enough, oh my God, to live by the sea, I'm 5 hours from the sea here in northern Italy. I would love to live beside the sea. If you're lucky enough to live beside the sea, go out and see the vastness of the ocean, sit on the beach, smell that sea air, connect with the stones if there are stones or sand. But just promise yourself that this week you will make an effort to get out into nature, because it's not just go out into nature, connect, it's good for you. There's a deeper meaning in there, that it actually helps your soul connection, and it helps you connect with your angels and with the deepest part of you. So it's such an important message for every single one of us, especially with the shitstorm that's happening out there in the world, the latest one, whatever it is at the moment. Whatever's happening out there in the world around us, we all know. I'm not going to bring it in here because you can go on your newsfeed and you can figure that out pretty quickly. But especially when there's stuff happening in the world and we're caught and we're scrolling and we're watching TV and the news and we're getting into fear and anxiety, we need to break that pattern and get out into nature and just reconnect with ourselves and with the beauty and the abundance on the planet right now and the blessings that we have around us. And from that state, we can do so much good. From a state of fear and anxiety and panic, we're really not much good to anybody. We're really not much good to be able to help or support change or even donate or do whatever it is that you want to do to help any situations that you're passionate about. But in that state of panic, it's a reactive, and it's not really a great state to be making change or taking steps in your life. But taking a breath and getting out into nature, even if that's with a plant that's in your house, reconnecting with that, can just settle your energy and help you to make better decisions in every area of your life. So I hope that this is definitely a useful message for me, because as I said, it's the second time I got it this morning, so it's definitely useful. So let us start reading messages. So the more specific a question you have, the better. So all the cards should be arriving by the end of this week at the latest, I would say. So Sharon, I see a question here for you. I feel I have blocks with regards to money, especially receiving it. I've lost the thing. Let me see. Sharon, if you could copy and paste that message again, that would be amazing. Because Facebook is doing its jumpy thing. I'm going to see if I can find it here on our Facebook page, in the group. So if you can be as more specific as you possibly can. So I'm just going to shuffle basically. Sharon, you have asked about money. So let's just see what comes up. So angels, what does Sharon need to know right now today? What does she need to know? Okay, so I don't know the full question because I can't see it, Sharon, but the card that you've got is Archangel Michael. Walk in faith, you are being guided. So, walk in faith, you are being guided. So, I'm just going to riff on this for a moment. Okay, I have a money block, there she is. Especially when receiving. This is a huge reason why I think I have fear working for myself. Okay, so the good news is, Sharon, money blocks, if you're willing, you can work through them, you can heal them, you can reach a place where you can accept money for your work, for your healing gift. So that's the good news. The not so good news is that it's a constant, you don't just do mindset work once and it's done and that's it. Unfortunately, it's something, or fortunately, it's something that we get to do for our whole lives over and over again. So you do that by reading books, by attending seminars, by working with teachers, by setting, like your business, a spiritual business is one of the most powerful spiritual paths that you can take, because you will be confronted with all of your SHIT. Literally every piece of crap that you have in your head about being unworthy and not being good enough, and money doesn't grow on trees, and I can't accept money, and there's a great one with healing. Healing should be free. I shouldn't accept money for my healing gifts or my healing work. So when you step into business and you start to ask for money, and you start to realize your worth, and you start to realize the amount of work that goes into producing things for clients, your mindset starts to change. But it's a long process. It's a process that's going to take a while. I've just knocked off the comments for a second so I can focus on Sharon's question, because it is an important one for all of us. So I heard recently, I don't know, it was a TikTok or something, but I think it was a TikTok or IG reel, and this guy said, told a story about Picasso walking into sitting in a restaurant, and this woman came over to him, and she handed him a napkin, and she said, "Will you draw me something?" So he made a quick sketch. It took him a few seconds, a few minutes, and he handed it back to her, and he said, "That's 500,000 euros." And she said, "Oh my God, I can't believe that you would charge so much money for something that took only a few minutes." And he said, "It didn't take me a few minutes. It's taken me 40 years to get to this place where I can create a masterpiece for you in a few minutes." So it's like that put things into immediate context for me, that, you know, when we step into a spiritual business, we step in usually into from a job where we get paid by the hour that we show up. So if your hour is a tenner or 50 or 100 or whatever it is, when you jump into your spiritual business, you open your business, you expect to get paid the hour that you're there. But it never works like that, because that hour that you get paid, if you get 50 euro for an hour of massage, just let's say, that 50 euro, 20% is tax, and there might be some room hire in there. There might be some childcare, as what happened to me when I was doing readings and I had my kids. I had to pay for childcare, and then that reading might take an hour, but you might have to come an hour beforehand to heat up the room. It happened to me, and you had to pay for all of that. So by the time I came out after charging 50 quid for someone to come and have an angel card reading with me, which for me felt very high, I was only coming out with 10 or 15 euro if I was lucky. So it really put things into context. But the good news is that you get to work on this as you set up your business. And I wouldn't use that as an excuse not to set up a business. You know, that's just an ego excuse, just like it's just putting an obstacle in place so that you don't go and follow your dreams. I can't do this because I can't accept money for my gifts. And another thing that I recommend for anybody in spiritual business starting out, don't, Elizabeth Gilbert says this more beautifully than me, don't make your creative gifts, she calls it, but I'm going to say your healing gifts, don't make your creative gifts pay the bills in the beginning. So when you're setting up a business, I would recommend that you have an alternative income coming in there, and that you have something else coming in whatever way, a passive income product, or you might be working. I know when I was starting my business, I jumped in, and then I had to go very quickly and get a part-time job. I worked for 2 years, 2 days a week, with an organisation, and that brought in enough money, enough stability so that my mortgage was paid, the bills were paid, that I could focus on growing the business. So it didn't become profitable overnight. It took a long time. I had to work through all of my mindset stuff, all of my money blocks, and I still work through them. They come through every new level of business that I step into and that you step into. So I hope that is useful. But you are being reminded, Sharon, by Archangel Michael, who is your protector, gives you courage, confidence, is just, you know, walking with you. I'm gonna pop in here about crows. So Sharon, I think you're in Ireland or the UK, and crows are the Archangel Michael of the bird realm. So if you hear some crows, just see some crows around you, no, take that as a sign this week that you're protected and that Archangel Michael is walking with you, is listening to you. For anyone that wants this sign, unfortunately we don't have many crows here in Italy. I do miss that about Ireland, but that was one of my angel signs, that Archangel Michael was listening. And I have lots of funny stories about crows. And when I asked for Michael's help, how they came in and made a lot of noise to let themselves know that they were there, that Michael was there looking after me. So you are just being reminded, and anyone that needs this message today, walk in faith. You are being guided. Just take the next step. Just take the next step. You know, you don't have to have it all figured out. And we certainly don't want to stop ourselves in the beginning. I can't work or create a business because I can't accept money. That's just BS. You know, let's just start with the seed. If you have money coming in, it doesn't matter if you make money in your business. It's a bonus in the beginning, in the early days, while you're getting all the steps in place, while you're figuring out your packages, while you're figuring out your audience, while you're figuring out the tech and your website and all of this stuff. You know, just take the first step, walk forward, one step at a time. So interesting that the first card we had is grounding, get out in nature, you know, and the second one is walk. Just put your feet on the ground and walk one step in front of you. So let me see. Hi Michelle, how are you? I have a huge group of jackdaws that come to my garden every day. There are 8 right now. 8 is the number of abundance, my darling. Love that. Okay. So, yes. So they are somebody said this to me years and years ago. Crows are the policemen of the bird realm. So I immediately connected that with Archangel Michael, who is sort of the policeman of the angels. He's their protector, looking after us. And, you know, and also has a fantastic sense of humor. I don't know if you can see this, but this is another angel sign that, like, I was a bit flustered this morning and I'm worried, why do I can organize these things when the kids are off and I have to run around but I look up in the sky and I know they're chemtrails, and so, you know, don't give me a big rant about that, but I take everything as an angel sign, and there's a few that I use in my own life. And right now, I don't know if you can see it, but we have, I don't know if it's possible to see this, but up in the sky there is a big X in the sky. And I often think of X marks the spot. I don't know if you've seen that. If I can get a photo of it. It might be rainbows, it might be feathers, it might be, you know, different angel signs, but the X marks the spot means that I'm in the exact right place where I need to be today, giving this angel guidance. It's settling into my heart. And so even if your question isn't answered, there will be something in here, or something underneath the healing that is what you need right now in your life. So I have Avril here I'd love a card for my daughter Zoe, just at a crossroads in her first year of college. So I'm just asking a message for Zoe. So align your life to infinite possibilities. Oh my God, what an incredible, beautiful card, Raguel. So look at this stunning card. So align your life to infinite possibilities. So what I want to say, if I had Zoe in front of me, I would say you can't make any mistakes. Whatever you do is going to give you blessings. Whatever you choose right now, choose the best path. Choose the one that feels the best right now for you. It might not be, it might not look even like the one that's meant for you. So it might be at the end of the year you say, that wasn't really for me, but that will have been learning. There are no mistakes. All paths lead to God. All paths lead to your life purpose. You're living and in your right purpose, your life purpose right now, your right purpose right now. There are no mistakes. Every single thing that has happened to me in my life, the good, the bad, the ugly, the wonderful, the blessings, the shit, have turned out to be blessings, have turned out to have valuable learning and insights that have supported me in other decisions in my life. So there is no wrong decision here. I'm in first year in college. I don't know if I really like that subject. I'm looking now for another one. Just fucking choose something else. Really and truly open up your mind a little bit and think, if I could do anything, you know, your angels are literally saying, align yourself with infinite possibilities. What are the infinite possibilities? What would you like to do? So, and then trust your intuition. Your intuition will tell you. So an example of this is I did holistic health for 1 year, and I finished the year. I studied like yoga, nutrition, stress management, aromatherapy oil, reflexology, massage, all different types of massage, like everything in that first year. And the second, that was mostly certificates. And the second year I was to go back and get a diploma. And just the next step on some of those trainings. And I remember walking in on the day of registration for the second year, and I literally felt sick in my stomach. Something was like, because it was very practical. It was like, I need to do this because it's a good qualification and it will get me where, it'll give me a profession and whatever. But literally my body didn't lie. When I walked in that door, it was like, oh my God, I feel like I'm gonna vomit. And I literally was about to walked in the door and then literally turned around and got back into my car, and the feeling of unease disappeared. And I went home that day and I enrolled in an art college, which was just up the road from me. And I did a year of art. And on the surface, it made no sense whatsoever, no professional sense, because I was training in holistic health, and then suddenly I was doing art for a year. I did this portfolio course for a year. But looking back, that was my year of art therapy. I cleared so much of the shit that had come up with all of the actual physical therapies, healing therapies that I dealt with in the first year. That brought up so much. Actually, I became a bit depressed after that. I went into the artwork, and that just gave me the space to express whatever was happening. And it helped me clear a lot of sacral energy. When I took a photo at the end of the year, it was a lot of orange and was in all of my pieces of art. So, just want to say that to Zoe and to anybody listening to this today thinking, I have to make a decision and it has to be the right one. We never really know if it's the right one till we get to the other side, till we look back in hindsight. Hindsight is, wonderful. Steve Jobs didn't really know how big Apple was going to be. Even he has some quote about hindsight there. I can't remember what it is. But what I'm basically saying is, you can only just take the next step that's in front of you, the next best step, and hope for the best. And then you can listen, as your intuition develops, you can listen to your body. You might have angel signs to let you know that this is the right, you might ask your angels, give me a sign if this is the right thing. And that book might fall off the shelf for your, the next college course. Or you might bump into your tutor, or you might bump into someone that has just taken a course and is like, oh my God. So we had the exact same thing happen with my son. In Italy, the Italian system is a bit different. At 14, they go and change schools and study for 5 years. And my son signed up for a particular school, but it was very difficult. And I was thinking, this is going to be really difficult. So I sat down and I said, what exactly do you want? What's the end result? What do you want at the end of this? And he says, I want to travel the world and I want to learn languages. So I was like, okay, so let's have a look and see what other courses could give you that end result. And literally my husband went to the supermarket, happened to get speaking to somebody in front, and she said, oh my God, my daughter did what your son is doing. She didn't like it, and we switched to tourism the second year. And it's languages, but it's not literature, which is what he was studying in the first year. So literally the answer came in the supermarket queue. I looked at the course, said this is difficult for him. I know he's going to struggle because he's not academic. He's very creative, he's sporty. So, and I was literally like, okay, and just give me a sign. And literally my husband met somebody in the supermarket, came home and introduced this course on tourism. And that's where he's signing up to spend the next 5 years, which fits in perfectly with his idea of where he wants to go for the moment. But, he's 14, so God knows what he's going to end up or where he's going to end up. But this is his first training. And, I think about myself. I went back to college when I was 28. So I had left school at 18. So 10 years later, I went back to college. And then fast forward another 10 years, I went back again when I had my second child, Emily, and studied for my degree in adult education and training because I wanted to be a qualified teacher. But so you can go back any time. You know, you can restudy, it's lifelong learning, my dears. You know, we don't stop learning, we don't go to college and then that's it, we do that and that's it, or we fail at college and then that's it. You know, it's a life that we have all these opportunities. So I hope, well, I'm glad that was useful, and glad that was useful for you. So let me see. Give me some thumbs up, give me some hearts, everybody. Let me know if this is useful, if it's making sense, even if it's not your specific question, but that something has come through. Let me know your ahas. Joan, there was a question for you, so I'm going to answer this quickly. Archangel Zadkiel, a tsunami of abundance is coming your way. This came out just before I picked Avril's card for Zoe. So for anyone that needs this today, a tsunami of abundance is coming your way. The key to this abundance is play, is fun, is joy. So for anyone out there that's looking for a few bob, that's looking at your bank account and you're like, what the fuck? How did that happen? This is not matching the idea I have in my head of the abundant life I should be living. Or maybe there's some bills, unexpected bills come up, or maybe there's, you know, my husband scratched a windscreen off his car, so we have to get that replaced. That's an unexpected bill this week. So there might be unexpected things coming up and you might be like, what the fuck? So, and you want to bring in more abundance into your life. This is like, if you look at this guy, he's abundance, a tsunami of abundance is coming your way. When I was asked Chinkal to design this card, I said, I want a surfer. I want somebody chilled. I want to bring in the energy of play into this card. I want to see, if possible, the sea in the background. We didn't quite get that because there was too much going on in the card. But you can see this quite good looking guy, I think anyway, carrying a surfboard. And just this pure light. There's waves in the background. They're difficult to see on the screen. But it's just this idea of when you want to bring in abundance, have some fun, you know, do the opposite of where your worry is taking you. So your worry is like, oh my God, look at the bill. Look at the reality of the situation that's in front of me. From that place of shitstorm, it's very difficult to create something new, to have these insights. So it comes back to the very first card that we had, which was get out and into nature, get grounded. So it's about doing something fun for you today that will reconnect you with the abundance that's available. So every single person, if you have food in the fridge, if you have a place that's warm and safe to sleep in tonight, then you are rich. You are richer than thousands, hundreds and thousands of Ukrainians at the moment, to be honest. And you know, I think about that. You know, I think about where I'm living right now. The week we moved in, a lady moved in upstairs, a Ukrainian mother with 2 kids. And I think about, oh my God, we are so lucky to have a place to call home that keeps ourselves and our family safe. My fridge is full. I have money in my bank account that I can go and buy whatever food I need for my family. I can pay the bills. My house is warm. There's running water. I am richer than hundreds and thousands of people, millions even on this planet, that are living below the poverty line. So sometimes we get ourselves into a state of we don't have enough. You know, I remember listening years ago to Louise Hay and her saying this: even kings and queens didn't have running water and toilets 100 years ago or 200 years ago. And so even the richest people in the land didn't have what I have, what I take for granted in my life right now. So when you get into that vibe, when you get into noticing the richness around you, your health, your you know, all of you add up all of the items that you have in your house and the cost of that, and the wealth that literally surrounds you. It gets you into a vibe of, oh my God, I'm so fucking lucky. I'm so lucky. I have so much. And from that place, you can have ideas. So from that place, it's like, you know, go for that walk in nature, have some fun, book some fun, really cherish, sit down with your family, watch a good movie. It's from that place that a new idea will come up. Oh my God, maybe you should apply for that job. Oh my God, maybe you should try this college course. Oh, maybe this book might show you how to create that passive income product. Oh, maybe that night out that you accepted the invitation for, even though you were stuck in your, you accepted it and you met somebody that offered you a job or a new collaboration or something. So if any of you are worried about money right now, the antidote is play. The antidote is play, my darlings. So get out, do something fun for yourselves, and recognize the abundance that is literally rippling around you right now in your life. If you are looking at this call right now, you're probably watching on a phone that costs a few €100. You're able to pay for that subscription. You're in probably a comfortable seat or in a car. You know, your family is safe. You have food in the fridge. You're not going to go hungry today. You are fucking rich. You are rich. And from that place of richness, a tsunami is coming. A tsunami is coming. Get on that surfboard and ride the wave of just, you know, I've never seen an unhappy surfer. You know, when I created Zadkiel, I created a suite of 3 cards for Zadkiel, and myself and Chinkal, and then I went back to her and I said, look, nobody's smiling in these cards, and that's not the idea of abundance that I want to give. That's not the message. I want to give it a message of fun, of happiness, of peace, of joy. That's abundance, and that is the magnet for more abundance in your life. So I hope that is useful. So anybody else, I'm ready now for another question, so pop it in there. I can do a few more. I think I'm going to try and do quick ones. So if you have a question, post it now. Post your question now. And the next person that posts a question, I will answer. Avril says, is there a mother card in the deck? When my mother died 7 years ago, I started following you, and it really helped me with my grief, and the angels sent you. I'm so happy to hear that, Avril, and thanks for staying with us for all these years. And I'm glad that I helped and supported you, my darling. And yes, there are lots of cards in the deck. So you'll see when you get your own deck. Sometimes you gotta surf. I expect a tsunami of abundance. Okay, so feel like something always gets in my way. Okay, so that's Catherine. Okay, so Catherine. Okay. So you are a vessel of divine love. So I'll tell you, so like I was coming on this call and I felt like everything went wrong. I was a few minutes late. I felt like everything went wrong. I can't even remember. I discovered that the page, I'm actually going to put that in now, for anyone that wants to book a ticket to the event. I'm forgetting to tell you about the event that's coming up next, the 22nd, Friday the 22nd. It's a live virtual event that you can come along and you can spend the day with me learning about angel oracle cards. immersed in the angel energy. This is what we're doing for this hour. That's what we're going to be doing for the day, for each other, just connecting in, treat it like a retreat space. If you want to hang out with me and with your soul sisters for the day and with your angels and receive some love and guidance and support. It is impossible for you to leave the building, the energetic virtual building, without receiving huge insights, ahas, and transformational moments. That is what it is to come into a space with me and your angels together, and the amazing women that are going to be there that have already booked their tickets. It is impossible. So even if you've signed up and you're going to watch the replay, fantastic. But I would strongly recommend that you try to be there in person. You book some time off work, do whatever it takes to get you in the room, because it is, I'm promising, it is going to be transformational. I've never held a live event that was not transformational for me, for everybody in the room. So the early bird is 40 fucking €7. This is a stupid price for this event. It's a one-off event. I will probably never be teaching this again. So if it's calling you, if you need that space right now from the madness of the world and you want to just step into a safe space for one morning, go to the link that I just posted there, ashlingmooney.mykajabi.com/event. And I would be thrilled, absolutely thrilled to see you there and to spend the day with us. So the early bird is finished tomorrow, and then it will jump to €97 after that, and you'll get, there's tickets will be available for a few more days at the full price. But why buy the full price? Get the ticket now at the early bird while it's available, my darling. So just before I came on, I found out that the link that I was sharing with everybody was wrong for the event. So I was wondering why overnight there hadn't been some more tickets booked. I was thinking, that's strange. Check the link, it's broken. I had to email my team immediately. What the F? Can somebody, this is an emergency, please fix this link? So I had to do that. Literally half an hour before the call. Then I noticed from my Aweber, my email provider, I went in to have a look. So I had to update my credit card yesterday. I had a new one with a new expiry. I went in, there has been like 10 payments with strange erratic numbers taken from with that account. So I was like, oh my God. So I was on a chat before this, dealing with this. So, and in the about 10 to 11, I just said, well, look, I have a call, I have to go. I'll come back later. And then something else happened. I don't know what it was. But it felt like there was about 4 things that happened, one after the other, literally the hour before I came on this call. And the way I had imagined the hour before this call was me listening to chill out music, having a nice shower, put my makeup on, and just arriving chilled and full of good vibes and being able to support you. That's not the fucking way I arrived here. I arrived like a stressed out Duracell bunny, pulled in a few directions, worrying about a few different things. And I was just like, fuck off. I'm going into this office, I'm going to close this door, and I'm going to be here. Even if I was a few minutes late, I'm going to just be here with you, and I'm going to receive my soul needs as much as you. The reason I'm sharing all that story with you, Catherine, is that you've asked the question. It seems like everything is against me and everything is going wrong and is putting a block in my path. Sometimes that happens when we're on the wrong path, when it's like, it becomes so difficult. It's like, okay, this is the wrong path. This is not where I'm meant to be going. It has to be easier. And it's at that stage that you sit and you ask your angels for advice. You will get information at the live event next week, Catherine. I know you're coming. And you will get so much support from that. You will get insights, you'll get direction, you'll get clarity. So, that's coming. But sometimes it's this path of least resistance. Everything is resistance, and it's like, okay, I need to pause, I need to stop, and I need to think and reevaluate. Is this the right path for me, or can I tweak? Can I change? Do I need to completely change direction? But there can also be that our own energy is bringing up all of the shitstorm. It's our fears. And I haven't done a public live in probably a couple of months. So every time I go and I do a public live after a while, I'm always a little bit nervous. I'm always a little bit worried. All my own insecurities come up. And the world then reflects those in the little irritable mishaps and hindrances that come up that try to block me on my path. And for me, it's a moment of, okay, I just need to burst through this shit and I need to just show up as I am. I don't have to look like I have it all together when I arrive on camera. I don't have to do that here. That's not my work. You know, I don't need lights, cameras, action. This is me. This is my phone. Closing the door. My family's out there. This card for you, and I would take this into the next event. Let me just show you the card. So this is the Archangel Shamuel. Shamuel is basically the angel for dreaming big, big dreams. So whatever you think is possible for you right now, double it, triple it, quadruple it. You know, Archangel Shamuel says, you are a vessel of divine love. You are a vessel of divine love. The work that you do, Catherine, is so important. You've been doing some amazing work advocating for charity, for the Micah catastrophe that's happened in Ireland, and I know that you've done so much work there, and you've also gone back to part-time work, and you're also building your business, and you've also done a massive amount of training in the last year, certificates and other sorts of training. So Catherine is in my is one of our angelites in the alignment program, so we know each other well. So that's why I know the background. So it's all of this work that you're doing is you've been through a lot and you're still in an integration period, but you're right at the cusp. You're coming to the end of it, Catherine. So it's like, take this next week to plan your next step. Take this this event that's coming up on the 22nd. I know that you've booked the time off to be there in the room live with me and with our fellow angel lights and everybody in our community. This is going to give you so much clarity. It's going to help you to, Shamuel is just like, oh, the way you're thinking right now, Catherine, it's too small. It's too small for your full potential, for where you want to go. So it doesn't mean that you suddenly have this big idea and you're like, how? You don't have to know the how. It could be 10 years from now. I looked at Matthew McConaughey, where was it? I was looking at some, I don't know, but anyway, he had this list of goals. One of his goals from high school was, I want to win an Oscar for Best Actor. And it took 20 years before he won that Oscar. So 20 years. So what did he do in those 20 years? He did the work. He failed many times. He almost got Oscars many times. So it took 20 years to realize that dream. So everything that's been happening to you, Catherine, is relevant, is helpful, is useful for where you're going, love. It wasn't a straight path from him to, I want to win an Oscar, to winning an Oscar. It was a lifetime of experience that took him to that place. So every single part of that life's journey was relevant and was a stepping stone to where he wanted to be. So right now, all you're asked is, if you could dream a big dream for yourself, what would it be? Author your first book, create your first online program, reach 1 billion people around the world, go and visit Richard Branson on his island and have some coaching with Richard Branson. Like, get a bit ridiculous even as well if you want. Not that that's ridiculous, if that's what you want. But really start to dream a little bit of a bigger dream. Live in a mansion, if that's what you want, or a tiny house, if that's what you want, in nature or by the sea or whatever. So, you know, having full health, vitality, being fit, having muscles, I don't know, whatever it is that you think right now is out of your reach, but you would love to bring into your life, just take this week to dream, journal, get yourself a nice notebook, write down your thoughts. This is what I'm playing with at the moment, angels. What I think I would like. Write a letter to your angels. Hey angels, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do this week. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with my life, what the big dream is. I'm thinking I might like this. I'm thinking I might like that. Can you help me out? And usually your angels will answer. They'll give you support. You can write as if you're writing from them. You can receive angel messages. You can ask for signs in your life. You can come on the event next week and receive guidance there. So I hope this is useful, Catherine, and anyone else that's looking for guidance. Okay, so we have the first question that popped up there. Oh, thanks, Assumpta. Thank you. Beautiful images. Yeah, they're amazing cards. Really, really. Okay, so I had Aishling Fitzgerald. Could I get advice? Is it a good time to invest in something new? So it depends on what it is that you want to invest in, Aishling. So the cards are saying yes. Okay. Excuse me. I'm recovering from a cold and a cough I had a few weeks ago, and the dregs of it are still there, and every now and again the cough comes up, so excuse me if I'm coughing a lot on this call. A good old cup of tea. Thank you for the hearts. Let me know that I'm making sense or I'm supporting you. I would love to hear what your biggest aha from this call is so far. What's the piece of information that you've got that is like, oh my God, that's exactly what I needed to hear today? So I would love to hear what your aha is, so you can write that into the comments now. After this call, I'll go through the comments because they've jumped all over the place, and I will do my best to support as many of you with answers as I can. So Archangel Gabriel, you are birthing a new age. So this is for you, Aishling. So the answer is yes, it's a good time to invest in something new. And also, there's no hurry. This is if you look at this woman, she's pregnant. Look. And so she's about to give birth. Now, well, when I look at her, I think she's about maybe 7 months pregnant. So she's another couple of months. So it's not something that you have to act on immediately. So if there's any sort of urgency there, I would question that, and I would be like, hang on a minute, I don't need to rush into this. So that's the first thing I would say, is make sure you get good, unbiased financial advice before you put your money into any investment. Make sure you're reading the right books and you're speaking to the right people. You know, lots of financial advisors are not financial advisors. They're connected. If you're connected with the bank or an insurance company, they're not unbiased. So, you know, really make sure that you're getting unbiased support. And, you know, I work with one of my coaches is Anne Wilson. You can find her book, The Wealth Chef, online. I recommend that as a great starting point. The Barefoot Investor is another great book that you can get on investing. Dave Ramsey, if you've read any of his books, The Money Transformation Makeover, I think it's called. That book literally helped me to get out of debt. So there's, you know, make sure that you're getting, Susie Orman is an amazing information. The only thing is that's based, a lot of American, based in America. So we need to find our version of that here in the UK or Ireland. That's where you're from, Aishling. So the other piece I want to say is putting on my practical hat, working with Ann Wilson. You know, I see a lot of people talking about crypto at the moment, and I follow Ann's advice on that, which is of your investment portfolio. So if you have 100 euros to invest a month, I'm just saying, it might be 50, it might be 10, whatever it is. So let's just take 100 to make easy maths here for my brain. Let's say you have €100 a month or a year to invest. 4% of that should be crypto. So that just gives you an example that shouldn't be your full investment strategy, because it's still the gold rush and it's still up in the air, and there's still cryptocurrencies arising and falling as we speak day by day. You know, I do think personally, looking at the situation, that crypto is going to stay, but I'm being very cautious with my own investment strategies around crypto. That might not mean that I'm going to make $1 million on crypto, but you know, just really be careful. Really make sure that you're investing not your bread and butter money, not your food money, not your budget for the week. That you're investing a clever amount of money that you can afford to invest and you can afford to lose. So that if it makes money for you, fantastic. And also, you know, I'm sure you know this, Aishling, when you're thinking about investing, that it's for the long term. You know, you invest in a property, you invest in crypto, you invest in stocks and shares or EFTs. It's for the long term. You're not going to see a proper return on them for 10, 20, 30 years. You know, so any investments that I make now, I'm really looking at my retirement. So 10, 15, 20 years, I'm looking at creating assets that bring in money. My business is just one asset and one investment that I have of many other investments and ideas. They might be small, but there's a long-term strategy there. So that's what I would suggest to anybody who's has some money and wants to invest, is make sure that you get proper unbiased advice. Get yourself educated, read the proper books. Go onto YouTube, there's a million resources and videos there giving you the best advice. And just, when it comes to crypto and new investment strategies, just be careful and make sure that you're investing carefully, and that it doesn't matter if it wins, fantastic, and if it doesn't, nobody's going to get hurt. So yes is the answer to your question, Aishling. So that's your angels are saying yes. Your angels are saying take your time. You have even a couple of months to make a decision on this. There's no real urgency here. And my practical coaching and person with some experience around debt and investing is saying, make sure that you have the proper advice and that you get yourself educated around this as well. We need to get ourselves educated around money, my dears. We need to take it. We're not going to get this in school. We need to do it ourselves. So hope that is useful. So let me see where we are on time. Anybody else that has any advice or any information that you want to share, stick it in the comments. And financial word advice. You are the wise woman we all need in our lives. Your advice is so lovely. You would not believe the amount of fuck ups that I make as well, Belinda. So, we learn. As I said, there's no mistakes. They're just things that we can learn. So I'm really just, trying to save you some mistakes that I've already made. Okay, my darlings, fuck ups make us wise. Yeah, I love it. So, I have time for one more question. So if you have a question, post it now. And I'm going to just post the link for the event. And I expect to see so many of you there, my darlings. The early bird is ending tomorrow at 8 p.m. So you literally have about 24 hours, a little bit more than that, to book your ticket. €47 for the next 24 hours, and then it goes up to 97. So you're going to save 50 quid and you're going to be in the room. It's already a stupid price, 97. 47 is, get yourself. John is saying, I must be a friggin' genius. Fuck ups make you wise. Love it. So, oh my God, so nice to be here, just having a chat, hanging out with everybody today. So lovely to see us all. So I'm going to pick a card now for Joe Louise. My health has been shocking this year. A card. So a nice health card. And we're all healers on this call. So anybody that wants to chime in, add some help, support, advice for Joe Louise or anybody else struggling with health issues, of course, make sure you go to your doctor. Of course, make sure that you have some professional help as well. So Joe Louise, and for anyone that needs this, that's struggling with a health issue this year, the wonderful two cards have popped out. Archangel Michael and Raphael. So this one is saying, you're stronger than you know. Look at this strong, powerful woman with that sword. Like, do not mess with me, this woman is saying. That was one of the first cards. This was the first card in the deck. And it's Archangel Raphael, soften your heart. So these two cards together is that there's a situation where you're giving your power away. So, and the question is around healing, so we're going to focus on health for this. There's a situation where you're giving your power away. So that might be, maybe the doctor that you have at the moment isn't the right one for you. Maybe you need to explore a new I just changed doctor recently, in the last 6 months, because the one we had before, it was male for start, and I was like going for gynecological questions, and I was like, I don't want to ask a guy. We've moved in here in Italy, so I had to get a new doctor. And so I said, I want a woman. So that was my only criteria. I want a woman. And I found a beautiful doctor, and that supports me, and she is amazing. So it's like, maybe you need to change doctor. Maybe you need to, we can get stuck in the practitioners and the healers and the doctors that we have around us and feel like we have to stick with them. You don't. You can totally change. You can totally get a second opinion. You can get a specialist opinion. So that's the first thing I would say. So anybody that's struggling with a health issue at the moment and maybe isn't happy with the support that they're getting from their doctor, it could be time to change. It could be time to open your mind and see, is there somebody else out there? It could be time to just ask your angels, can you help me out with this? What else do I need on top of the medical care that I'm getting? Do I need some counselling? Is there some grief work that needs to be done? And the reason I'm bringing that is this card. It's soften your heart. So that tells me that there's some forgiveness work. If all else fails, coming back to forgiveness work is the key. It's literally, I went to my doctor last week and I got medicine for this cold. So I love contemporary medicines, and if I break my leg, I'm not going to meditate on mending it. I'm going to go straight to A&E and get it fixed. So, there is a place for medicine and we need it in our lives. But there's also a place for the energetics and the mindset and the healing, the vibrational healing work. And this card is a reminder of forgiveness, of the power of forgiveness, that it is literally the magic healer. So even if we don't think we have anything to forgive or we need to forgive at the moment, go and do some forgiveness work. I have a forgiveness course, 7 different meditations. It's a stupid price. If anyone is interested, tag me and I'll let you. It's also free when you join the alignment program. So I often in our calls a card will come up and I will just say to someone, just go back and do the forgiveness course. Just pop in, pick a meditation and play with that for this week, because there's a little bit of forgiveness. So it can just be an easy way to heal, or to support healing in your health. So that's a couple of things. And just one thing in particular that's coming through for you, Joe Louise, that asked this question in the beginning, is take a look at your diet and bring in some more green. I'm just noticing the green in this card, and it's like bring in some more green, bring in some more strengthening, like a lot of iron, and I can see green, and I can see now like cabbage, you know, that like green, kale, cabbage, broccoli, spirulina. I'm just thinking I have some spirulina in there. I haven't opened it, and I must add it to some smoothies now over the next week to build up my own strength and immunity. Get your vitamin C, get your probiotics in there. We have an amazing woman in our one of our angelites in the alignment community, Claire Keegan. She just gave us a talk there last week on things that you can do to build up your immune system. And one of the things that I worked with Claire privately last year, and one of her main things was probiotics. They are the building blocks of your immune system. And I might be speaking out of turn. I'm not a nutritionist, so I did some very basic level training in it. So, but there is, when I tune into you, Joe Louise, I can see a deep green vegetables, and so there's something there that might be missing in the diet, or you could be adding that to your diet, but maybe you're not getting the proper nutrition, so you might add something else so that you can actually take the nutrients from that. And that could be adding something else, or it could be setting the intention, praying over your food. Go and have a look at Emoto's work, Masaru Emoto. He did a lot of work with crystals, and he took some water, froze it, and took a photo. And some of those water, he spoke really terrible to the water, and another, he spoke really beautifully and lovingly to the water. And then he took photos of each of those crystals, each of those drops, and you can see the difference. So your intention can be so powerful. The water that he spoke negatively to is ugly and misshapen, and the water that he gave love and gratitude to is stunningly beautiful and perfectly shaped. So, and he reckons that we're 70% water, and that so by speaking kindly to ourselves, we can positively affect our physical health. So it can be enough to just set your intention. I am taking in the nutrients that my body needs right now from whatever food. I know that I'm being guided to whatever is good for me. A very simple technique when you're going shopping you can use is kinesiology. So I do this sometimes. So I sit over in the supermarket, and I just use a simple yes, no. So yes for me is I can't get through, so that's a yes. And then no is I can't hold it. So yes and no. So I've not really explained that very well, but I will literally say, are chips good for me today? No. Is lettuce good for me today? Yes. Look, I cannot get my finger out there, so that's a definite yes. Are sweets good for me today? No. Is chocolate? Oh no, I've loads of chocolate there. My mum brought it over from Ireland. Is Cadbury's chocolate good for me today? No. Are peas good? Yes. So you can literally use kinesiology. It's a very simplified version. Go and Google it and get your version of it, that can tell you what foods are good for you and good for that your body needs, because we're all unique and we all need different things. But Joe Louise and anybody that needs it for health issues, you are stronger than you know. And soften your heart, my darling. Do some forgiveness work. Ho'oponopono. Grab my forgiveness course if you're interested, or if you're in the alignment program and you're listening to this, go and just dip into that program, that course, and do some work. That is it, my darlings. I'm going to love yous and leave yous there. What an amazing session we had this morning. I would love to see you at the live event next Friday. Tickets are half price right now today, this moment, €47. Silly price. You can come and you can spend the day. Like, literally this could be life-changing. It could help support you in decisions that you want to make in your work and in your career, in your life, in your health. You literally will not leave that space without support, without guidance, without more clarity, without an idea of where you're going in your life. So any problem that you bring to that event, you're going to leave with some answers and some help and support. And at the very, very least, you're going to leave with a feeling of being loved and supported by your angels and by our community. And it's going to serve you to just step out of the madness of our lives and everything that's happening, and just give yourself this opportunity to step into this space with me and our fellow angel lights, and give yourself some clarity about your next step. So it's next Friday, the 22nd of April, 9 to 2 UK time and Irish time. There will be a replay, so if you miss any of it, you can come back, you can watch that replay at a time that suits you. I know I have lots of people here from different time zones that won't be able to make it live, but you can totally grab it and come and watch the replay afterwards. But it's going to be life-changing. It is going to be transformational. And I know that I'll be probably skidding in the door as I was this morning. But once I'm there, and this is my time out and your time out to just be with our angels and get the support that we need in our lives. So the link is here. I'm going to post it for anyone that would like to book a ticket. You can go there. You can book right now while the early bird is still there until 8 p.m. tomorrow night, and then the price goes up. Loads and loads of love. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that this helped and supported you in some way in your life, and I hope to see you next week, my darlings. Loads of love. Bye bye.